The presidential candidates on the Republican side giving their best effort last night in Las Vegas, and I'm sure you watch, Bob. You love those kind of things.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I said I don't have a life. I was watching the debate.
Yeah, at the beginning of the interview here off the air, we were talking how Bob and I were back and forth late last night around midnight.
Around midnight. Yeah. I'm like, what am I doing? Go to bed, Bob. Go to bed.
Seemed to us like Marco Rubio had a pretty good night and also had a lot of support in Las Vegas for some reason. I don't know if the two are connected or not. And Rand Paul also got some big bursts of applause. Donald Trump sounded like he struggled a little bit and even looked aggravated last night on a number of occasions. I don't know if he's got the staying power to stay in this thing.
Well, here's what I think. In my judgment, he's just trying to, hold off. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to make a mistake. Mm-hmm. When you're the front runner, you don't need too much attention. You just don't want to make a mistake. And since Iowa is first, Iowans don't want that brash, in-your-face kind of guy. They're evangelicals. Mm-hmm. So I think he wanted to temper it down because I think he's a little concerned that Cruz is the one that's coming on.
He's got a 10-point lead over Trump in Iowa.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. So, and I think the interesting part of the debate, to me last night anyway, was to watch Cruz and Rubio.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because they went at each other. That was a real debate. Mm-hmm. What I enjoyed about it last night is there was a little bantering back mm-hmm. and forth, and even Jeb got a few shots in there. And I just think all in all it was probably the best debate. Of course, it was the topic that's on everybody's mind because of the terrorist attack here in San Bernardino and the Paris attacks. The one who I felt really sorry for is
Ben Carson,
our surgeon, man. He's just after Paris, he's done. I mean, I just don't see where his style is going to work.
I agree.
Just don't.
He seems to be a good person, actually.
Oh, God,
absolutely. Kind of very, very intelligent, very low key, but probably too low key. One person tweeted out last night, somebody give that guy a can of Red Bull and wake him up a little bit. And he doesn't have that passion. He can't turn that on. And I think it's something you have to have once in a while.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Talk about low energy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really low energy.
He took a moment of silence for the victims at San Bernardino.
Yes.
I think some folks thought he may have fell asleep during that.
Well, I mean, you wasted a part of your time. You don't have much time.
Right.
You got to make your points, Christie did a good job.
Yes, he did. He did.
Although his tie was askew. It was bothering me. I don't know.
They should have got together. A couple of them had the same identical tie.
Yes.
Yeah. But I thought you made some good points about Trump because we may look at it in a different sense from the outside and say, here's a brass kind of guy. He is who he is, but maybe he's a little bit more strategic in his planning than we are thinking. And I think you make a good point with Iowa coming up.
Yeah, remember, he's already made he's already hit 30. The guy hit 40. He hit 41%.
And he made those points last night.
And what does he have to do? Well, what I have to do is make sure that I don't get derailed. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what his posture, and that's the last debate. So now, listen to him between now and the time of that first caucus in Iowa, and he's going to be Donald Trump. He's going to be, we're keeping out the Muslims. We're going to hate on everybody. He's going to be Donald Trump.
Yes. Jeb Bush, by the way, fired back at the Donald a couple of times, calling him and saying he can't insult his way to the presidency. And then he had another great clip here as well. Check this one out.
Donald, is great at the one-liners, but he's a chaos candidate, and he'd be a chaos president.
A chaos president is what he referred to him as there. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, well, Trump referred to Cruz as a maniac, so we've got chaos, maniac. I'll tell you who did a great job, and I watched a little bit of it, and I saw some of the clips. Too bad he wasn't on the stage, was Lindsey Graham.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Oh, Lindsey Graham.
In the JV debate.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Lindsey Graham was almost in tears. And the question that had come up was, I forgot how many. I think he said we have 3,500 Muslim, not veterans, Muslim men in uniform fighting for our country.
Right.
What do you tell them? I mean, I watched the clip this morning. Of course, I have no life. I was watching Mike or Morning Joe. I watched the clip. He really, really was super last night. They said he should have been on the main debate.
Yeah, a lot
That's
of
how good he was.
A lot of audio coming away from his take, and he had some really fun analogies, I guess, if you will, bringing up Trump. Also,
he's clever. He's very clever. So
talking to Bob Cardillo on the Talk of the Town at 100.7 FM WUTQ. If you have any thoughts about the debate last night, feel free to text us at 623-0373, or you can call us if you like at 624-0870. Also, Donald Trump last night tried to make some comment about closing down the internet, and he was heavily criticized for that one. Here's that clip for you here. Check it out.
What I like even better than that is getting our smartest and getting our best to infiltrate their internet so that we know exactly where they're going, exactly where they're going to be. I like that better. But we have to... Who would be... I just can't imagine somebody booing. These are people that want to kill us, folks. And you're objecting to us infiltrating their conversations? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, and I don't think he was correct about trying to close down the internet. I don't think he understands how the internet works, frankly.
No, well, Al Gore created it, and he's going to shut it down.
Yes. As I was watching last night, Bob, I was also checking out Twitter, and a guy who does focus groups for a living at Luntz Global, he made some interesting comments last night because he was tracking audiences while he was watching the debate, and he said the segment where Rand Paul attacked Marco Rubio and they went back and forth a little bit, he said that was the lowest focus group moment of the debate. 38% of conservatives and 39% of moderates didn't care for that. They don't like seeing that kind of thing.
They don't.
Now, you had said that you enjoyed it as a media wag and as a pundit, but the public doesn't like seeing those heated arguments, I don't think.
Well, it depends on the topic sometimes, too. And actually, I know Frank Luntz. Frank was, when I was doing stuff with Rudy Giuliani, Frank Luntz was Rudy's pollster.
Oh, okay.
So he's a clever guy. He does all kinds of those focus groups on Fox. He does the analysis with the barcoding and
really breaks
graph.
it down.
He does the graph so that you can see when they make a comment if it goes up or down.
Immediate reaction. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think does a good job.
It's interesting what Dave said because I was with you, Bob, on that exchange back and forth because it seemed like the two candidates that had substance, and when they did debate back and forth, it was about specifics, and they did bring out some of their topics and ideas. It wasn't just like, you're wrong, you did this, or you said this before.
No, you had a clear delineation last night on the view of, do we take out dictators or not? You had four said, yes, let's go get them. And, for example, Kasich was on the side of, let's not get them all, but he was in favor of some. They discussed Libya with Gaddafi. There were a whole group of issues that they talked about last night that really showed the differences between some of the candidates, which is what you really need in a debate.
Right.
It's great when they're all saying the same thing, but you want to know where they differ.
So who'll be the next one to drop out, do you think? Kasich, maybe?
Look, you've got Santorum, Pataki.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Mike Huckabee. I was hopeful as this process began that you would have gotten down to 4 or 5, because then you picture a debate with 4 or 5. Yeah. Now you're going to really know how they feel. I would love to see. They tell you, and I didn't hear it last night. I finally did go to bed. How much time each candidate actually spoke.
Yes. I believe Ted Cruz spoke the most and John Kasich spoke the least, according to ABC News.